Welcome to Transcend. I'm Susan. Thank you for joining me for this class. In today's practice, we will focus on clarity. Clarity is transparency versus haze. Clarity allows us to more clearly see and to more easily understand and perceive the way we should move forward. In establishing a still presence on our mats, we concede and create clarity. Starting in kneeling pose Vajrasana, our palms are resting on our legs, closing our eyes if we wish. And bringing awareness to our breath as we inhale through the nose, deep into the belly, exhale through the nose, starting to slow our minds down. Grounding our minds with our breath. Long, smooth inhales. Long, smooth exhales. Starting to establish that still presence on your mat today. As you continue breathing, I want you to allow clarity to enter into your life today. And simply to accept it. Opening the eyes, and we will be transitioning into downward dog. Pedaling out our legs. It's the first downward dog of the class. And when ready, coming into a static hold. The poses in today's class will mostly be a static hold to establish that still presence in body and mind. Continuing to inhale and exhale through the nose, deep into the belly. Grounding through the hands and the feet. Coming into tabletop on our hands and knees. Exhaling as we come into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Cat. Cow. Cat. Cow. Last one. Cat. Drawing the belly button up towards the spine. Cow. Coming into a neutral tabletop. We'll be doing balancing table. The right arm is extended, the left leg is extended, the toes are pointed, slightly engaging the core. Even breaths. With the right hand reaching back for the left foot for tiger pose, modifying as desired. Remembering you can always rest when needed in your pose of choice. Static hold, establishing stillness to seed and create clarity within our lives. Releasing the foot, returning to balancing table, but this time the toes are flexed on the left foot. Engaging the core, one straight line, heel to fingertips. Returning the right palm to the mat, and we're going to swing that left leg perpendicular to the hip with the sole of the foot flat, toes pointing forward. When ready, you're going to inhale and extend that left arm gazing upward. Gentle twist. Breathe. Returning the left palm to the mat, we will be slowly lowering our hips into a forward fold, moving within a pain-free range. Your foot is still flat on the mat, modifying as desired. Forehead can be resting on the mat if you have the range of mobility. Inhaling, transitioning back to a neutral table. Switching sides, we will now be extending the left arm. The right leg is extended, toes are pointed, core is slightly engaged. Left hand reaches back for the right foot, coming into tiger. Releasing the foot, extending the left arm, the right leg. This time the toes are flexed on the right foot. Engaging the core. Returning the left palm to the mat. The right leg comes out perpendicular to the hips. The foot is flat on the floor, and when ready, you're going to extend your right arm, gazing upward. Right palm returns to the mat as you slowly lower your hips down into a forward fold variation. Returning to tabletop. And then transitioning into another downward dog. Static hold. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Deep into the belly. Transitioning into a toe squat as we lower our knees to the mat, and we want to ensure that our toes are about, maybe the big toes about 2 inches apart. They're lined up, bringing the knees to the mat. Yoga mudra behind the back, opening up the meridians on the bottom of the feet with this toe stretch. Long, smooth breaths. Letting that nervous system soothe. Allowing the haze to clear. Opening the eyes, coming into tabletop briefly and just tapping out the toes. And then coming onto our stomachs for Sphinx pose. The shoulders are rolled back away from the ears. The head is slightly tilted upward, opening up the chest space ever slightly. Continuing long, smooth breaths into our belly. Trying to remain still, not fidget. Fingers still. Our palms come to the mat as we transition back into child's pose, Balasana, forehead on the mat, arms by the side. Yoga mudra behind the back as the arms extend upward towards the ceiling. Child pose, bowing with yoga mudra. Forehead remains on the mat. Releasing yoga mudra and placing our hands on our heels as we put the crown of our head on the mat and come into rabbit. Releasing the hands. Palms come to the front of you. Downward dog. Returning to child's pose, this time wide leg child's pose. Extending arms forward on the mat. Forehead on the mat. Inhale, transitioning to tabletop. We're just going to extend that left arm briefly, opening up the chest space. And when ready, exhaling, thread the needle. Left arm comes through, forehead returns to the mat. Transitioning back into tabletop, this time extending the right arm, gazing upward for a moment, and when ready, threading the needle, forehead returns to the mat, creating stillness to realize clarity. Returning to tabletop, and then transitioning to downward dog. Walking the hands back as we walk out the feet to the edges of the mat, we're becoming into garland pose malasana. Hands at Anjali Mudra at the heart space. Modifying here if desired. Continuing long, smooth breaths deep into the belly. Soothing the nervous system to still the mind, to realize clarity. Gazing upward as the left arm extends. Switching sides, extending the right arm, gazing upward. Returning to Anjali Mudra at the heart space. Transitioning into downward dog, walking those hands forward. Coming to kneeling, tabletop, as we swing our feet around to become seated. And staff pose, Dandasana. Feet extended, palms by the side of the hips. Transitioning into a sage twist. So we bring the left foot up to the mat, the knee is bent, and we will be extending the right arm and just gently twisting to the left. Slowly returning to center as that left leg comes down, coming into head to knee forward fold. Both sit bones are rooted on the mat as we extend our arms forward, folding over our leg, moving in a pain-free range, modifying as desired. Continuing to hold that still space to seed and create clarity. Inhaling, coming into staff pose, shaking out the legs momentarily. When ready, transitioning to the other side. Extending the left arm up and twisting to the right. Returning to center, lowering down the right knee. Hip bones are rooted on the mat. And when ready, folding forward for head to knee forward fold. Inhale, returning back to staff pose Tandasana, shaking out the legs gently. And when ready, coming into easy pose Sukhasana, left leg is in the front. Once again, both hip bones should be rooted on the mat. We're going to get our palms and just walk them forward and find your tight edge. So perhaps your tight edge is here. The hip bones should still be rooted on the mat. If you have a greater range of mobility, you can try coming down onto your forearms. Stretching the external hip area. Some people may feel tightness in their back if their back is more tight than their hips. Long, smooth breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. If your mind starts to jump or spin, just bring your awareness back to your breath. Rising up, we'll just be doing a short twist to the left, twisting to the right. And when ready, coming into a gentle side body stretch on the left-hand side. So we will be putting our right fingers or palm on the mat, extending our left arm, and a very gentle stretch. If you have the range of motion, you can come onto your forearm. If you have that flexibility in your left side body. Just holding here, continuing long, smooth breaths into the belly. Returning to center. Switching legs. Now the right leg is in front. Hips are rooted on the mat. Walking our palms forward to find our tight edge, holding there, or coming onto the forearms if we have the range of motion and flexibility. Continuing to establish that still space, stillness before clarity. Letting the haze clear so it's more transparent. Slowly rising up Twisting to the right. Twisting to the left. Extending the right arm, coming into a side body stretch on the right arm. Finding your tight edge and just holding there. Breathe. Beautiful. Returning to center. Extending our legs, shaking them out for a few moments. And then we will be reclining onto our backs. And then getting your peace fingers and grabbing your big toes. And as much as you can extend them, you may have your knees bent, but that's okay. You'll be hinging at the hips, but kind of finding your tight edge and then holding here. If you have the flexibility, then you would be extending your legs straight as you have your peace fingers around your big toes. Continuing long, smooth breaths. If your legs are straight and you feel like the effort or the tension is increasing, you can always bend your knees a little bit. Slowly releasing the toes. And you can come into either constructive rest, palms on the belly, or reclined bound butterfly with the arms extended overhead. Eyes are closed. This is our last pose before Shavasana. Allowing the jaw to soften, the tongue to relax. Closing your eyes here if you wish. Awareness on your breath if your mind is spinning or jumping. Allowing your body to feel heavy on the mat as you relax. When ready, transitioning into Shavasana pose. Legs are extended. Arms are by your side with your palms facing up. Allowing yourself to rest. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes to bring some awareness back into the body. Extending arms overhead, bringing your ankles together for a body stretch. And when ready, returning to seated, easy pose Sukhasana. Spine is straight, extended through the crown. Palms are resting on your legs. Closing your eyes here if you wish for a few more centering breaths. Establishing stillness to create clarity. Hands in prayer, Anjali Mudra at the heart space, holding gratitude for this time and practice on our mats today. Hands in Anjali Mudra, prayer up to the third eye on the forehead. Embodying vitality and heart and mind. And so it is. Thank you again for allowing me the privilege to practice with you today. If you enjoyed this class that focused on clarity, there's also a Yoga Nidra that has a deeper dive into establishing clarity if you're interested. I'll link it in the description below. Until we meet again on the mat, be well.